Well, thanks to Fred and Larry, and welcome everyone. This is the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, and one thing we can tell you for sure is that no team has ever repeated as a Valley champion, and it won't happen again this year because the Creighton Blue Jays have already been eliminated. Welcome everyone. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Alongside me is John Albright, and we have two very hot teams coming into this tournament tonight.
Both teams coming in exactly the way their two coaches would like to see them, coming in playing as good a basketball as anybody could expect. Illinois State, they've won 8 out of their last 10 games coming in here. They have not lost in this building since December 7th, a game against Purdue. Southern Illinois on the other side, they've won 14 of 16 games, so they're playing as well as anybody. Won the regular season and have earned the right to play here tonight for the championship.
Well, it's down to this one game. You have to win 3. Each of them have won 2. And one of the players that Bob Bender must count on is Ricky Jackson. He's playing in the wake of tragedy. His mother passed away on Sunday after a long bout with cancer. It was Jackson's call. He told his coaches, "Do not tell my teammates until after the game was over." He responded with a gutty 17-point performance. He'll have to do something similar tonight if the Redbirds are going to beat the number 1 seed.
Well, Ricky Jackson, he is the leader of this Redbird basketball team, and you're exactly right. He's been able to pick up his average here in the tournament, and you see his numbers right there. You see what he's done during the regular season. When he scores 20 or more points, they're 5-0. The last 4 games, JP, Ricky Jackson is averaging 19.8 points a game. You get a good look at a courageous young man. And for Illinois State to win, they've got to have another very positive performance from Ricky Jackson.
On the other side of the coin, they must worry, Illinois State must worry about the best rebounder in the Missouri Valley Conference, and that's Jerry Jones.
Well, Jerry Jones, he's a one-man wrecking crew, and he has been outstanding. Look at what his rebounding numbers have been. Led the Missouri Valley in rebounding at 10.3 during the regular season. He's picked it up another notch you see in the tournament. But more importantly, against Illinois State, Jerry Jones has averaged 19.5 points and an unbelievable 14 rebounds per game. Bob Bender very concerned about Jones, particularly at the offensive glass. He has been very difficult for them to stop in the man-to-man. So important that not only are they concerned about blocking him out, but they're concerned about blocking him outside of the lane. So strong and powerful. Keep a close eye on Jerry Jones tonight.
If you look at the field goals, the free throws, and the rebounds, you've got to say to yourself, how are the Redbirds even in the championship game? One word, and that's defense.
John Paul, Illinois State plays outstanding team man-to-man defense. They do a good job of denying you offensively, not only what you want to do, but where you want to set up on the floor. And against Southern Illinois, ISU has been particularly tough. They have forced the Salukis into 21 turnovers, an average of 21 turnovers in the 2 games there. So with the Salukis, they've got to keep the turnovers under control. ISU turn up that defensive pressure.
We're going to meet the starting lineups when we come back. It's a very loud place here in Normal, Illinois. It's going to be anything but normal. We'll see you when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. We have the number 1 seeds, the Southern Illinois Salukis, and the number 2 seed, the Illinois State Redbirds, and we should have a great one for you. The crowd is ready. So is Steve Adams, our public address announcer. Let's meet the players.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois for the championship game of the Pepsi Missouri Valley Conference Basketball Tournament. Tonight's Valley finale features the Salukis of Southern Illinois University and the Redbirds of Illinois State University. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing tonight's starting lineups. At forward for Illinois State, 6'5" from Mount Morris, Michigan, a senior, 43, Ricky Jackson. At forward for Southern Illinois, 6'8" from Centralia, Illinois, a junior, number 40, Rick Shipley. At the other forward for Illinois State, 6'5" from Chicago, Illinois, a sophomore, 42, Scott Fowler. At the other forward for Southern, 6'7" from Oak Park, Illinois, a freshman, number 50, Ashraf Amaya. At center for the Redbirds, 6'7" from North Chicago, Illinois, a senior, 52, Gerard Coleman. At center for the Salukis, 6'6" from Country Hills, Illinois, a senior, 44, Jerry Jones. At one guard for Illinois State, 6 feet tall from Chicago, Illinois, a freshman, number 14, Richard Thomas. At guard for Southern Illinois, 6'1", from Maywood, Illinois, a junior, number 11, Sterling Mayhem. At the other guard for the Redbirds, 6'3", from Peoria, Illinois, a senior, 23, Randy Blair. And at the other guard for the Salukis, 6'5", from Birmingham, Alabama, a senior, 23, Freddie McSwain. Illinois State's coach in his first season, Bob Bender. Southern Illinois' coach in his 5th season, Rich Herron.
Southern Illinois have won 14 of their last 16 games. The Illinois State Redbirds have done a great job as well. They've won 11 of their last 14. Before we go any further, we toss things back to Chris Fowler.
Okay, thanks, JP. Well, the club is growing of teams in the NCAA tournament. It has now reached 9. Taking a look at the teams all.
Thanks, Chris. It's Southern Illinois and Illinois State, and one of the things that Southern Illinois was talking about yesterday, John Albright, was we've got to get off to a better start than we have the first couple of games. If not, the crowd in Illinois will put us down early.
Well, the one positive thing, if you're Rich Herron and his club, they've been in this position before. You see the numbers there, an outstanding home record for Bob Bender's club. You see Southern Illinois, Rich Herron's club, also playing extremely well. Best number of wins ever in the history of the Salukis. But you're exactly right, particularly with an emotional home court crowd. Standing room only here. Very important for the Salukis to try to get off to a positive start. Take some of this home court advantage away.
Jerry Jones will jump with Gerard Coleman. Coleman says that Jones is probably the strongest player in the Missouri Valley Conference. Jim Bain will toss it up. Ron Fletcher and Ed Hightower will work the game with him. Mayhem will take it for Southern Illinois.
Keep a close eye on Rick Shipley. At 6'8", he presents a lot of problems because of his height. They'll start Gerard Coleman, a first on Shipley.
First turnover of the game. Blam! The layup.
You wonder about a home court advantage? You saw it right there. Tremendous Redbird home court crowd here.
Mayhem will give it to Shipley. Their second leading rebounder. He can shoot inside or out. He takes the jumper, misses. There's the rebound straight from Jones.
JP, immediately what Bob Bender was concerned about. Look where Jones got it. Nobody blocked him outside of the lane area. And a strong follow-up for Jerry Jones.
Here's Richard Thomas, second in the voting for outstanding freshman to Ashraf Amaya. So we've got two of the best playing today. Here's Coleman, the block from Amaya. Thomas. It is an offensive foul on Thomas. So the freshman going in will pick up the foul, no basket.
Heads-up play by Amaya. You're going to watch the first shot. Nice defensive play by Amaya. He's going to follow it up with another nice defensive play. Does a smart job, doesn't challenge Thomas. Lets him run right into him. Excellent call by Jim Bain. No basket.
Back in the live action, Mayhem will bring it up. He is a first-team member of the Missouri Valley Conference All-Star team. Shipley looking for Jones. Not a good pass, but Jones got it.
Fowler's got a very difficult responsibility. Jones, one of the strongest players in the Valley.
Mayhem cutting through, but he missed off the glass. Randy Blair. Left side, Ricky Jackson. No stopping him, but he missed it. Rebound, Fowler.
Excellent transition that time by the Redbirds. They missed the initial shot, but Fowler with a strong follow-up.
Illinois State leading at 4-2. McSwain went up, and that one is an offensive foul.
Early on, we've seen both clubs take a charge. Watch Freddie McSwain. His individual one-on-one moves very strong. Fowler right there. Good heads-up play by Fowler. But one of the other things that Bob Bender was concerned about was Mayhem and McSwain. They are excellent in one-on-one, and their penetration really concerns the Redbird coaching staff.
And McSwain coming off an outstanding game. 28.6 rebounds against Creighton. There's a block down low. And the Redbirds will maintain possession. They have boosted their club's record as we look at Rich Herron on that sideline. He was coaching before Bob Bender, his counterpart, was even born.
What an outstanding job he's done at Southern Illinois. He has returned basketball enthusiasm to that university and that part of the state.
Amaya just took it away from Fowler to Shipley. McSwain, a great dish. Jones missed the layup. Amaya missed the tip. But look at how they get those second rebounds, and Amaya pushed off, picking up the foul.
JP, what you're seeing right now is emotion and adrenaline. Rich Aaron's club with an excellent opportunity inside. Unable to get in. Bob Bender also concerned about burning off the emotion, the adrenaline in this game. Emotion can take you so far, but you want to play smart. You want to play under your normal thoughts. And once the first couple of minutes, look for both teams to settle down.
You won't be able to tell, obviously, by the noise of this crowd, but Illinois State is considered the road team here. They are the second seed. Here is Jackson in the miss. Amaya lost it. Blair right up. No good. And Amaya, look at the fierceness on those boards. McSwain coming back. Amaya got it late. Back out to McSwain. Coming through. McSwain hits it.
One of the things Bob Bender told us was defensively, once Southern Illinois sets up on one side of the court, they don't want them to be able to go to the other side because of the penetration. That time the defense broke down and you saw McSwain.
Tied at 4, 17-10 to go. First half, Thomas on his dribble goes up off the glass, but there was a foul. And the foul is going to be on Mayhem. It will be Mayhem's first as Bob Bender shouts out encouragement from his side.
Excellent penetration here by Richard Thomas. Little move's going to go by McSwain. Mayhem has to come over to help, and you see the foul right there. Little body contact, but Mayhem had to help defensively once Thomas went by McSwain.
During the regular season, as a team, Illinois State was shooting almost 70%, and they're right about that right now in the Valley tournament, so things haven't changed. Thomas brings a 68% average to the free throw line. I'm impressed with this freshman. I've seen him play now 2 strong games and 1 game previous to that during the regular season against Bradley. He looks good.
Well, the positive thing about Thomas, he just doesn't play like a freshman. Look what he's done in the tournament. He's picked his average up again. Good players find a way to turn it up a notch at tournament time.
He had a big 3 against Creighton down the stretch, and his teammates will tell you he does not play like a freshman. Here's McSwain, the jumper. No good. McSwain got his own board. Right up strong, blocked, and I think Jones lost it. No, they're going to say it stays there, and Bob Bender doesn't agree. I thought it went off Jones last, but my angle is not as good. Bob Bender, the youngest coach in the Valley, 32 years old. Shipley underneath the basket. On the lob to McSwain.
Already with 3 offensive rebounds, and you see what happens. Coleman had to come from the backside to block that shot by Jerry Jones, but he got a little body in the process. If you're doing a good job on the offensive glass, JP, it takes the pressure off your field goal percentage. Here's what happens. Great touch pass that time. Jones in that category, there's nothing good that's going to happen if you're an Illinois State fan. Coleman having to come over the back that time, picking up the foul.
This is Jones' weakness. Free throws, 59%. As a team, Southern shot 67% during the regular season. They're down to 57% now. That's a good free throw for Jerry Jones. He's in front of a not-so-friendly background. There are their percentages.
That's not a good statistic if you're trying to win a tournament championship, particularly when you're playing the host school on their gym floor.
And you know, before they came in the 5 games previous, it was almost 74%. Ricky Jackson on the boards for Thomas, and now Blair, the Missouri Valley Conference top defensive player this year. Here's Fowler. 11 and 3 are the Redbirds since Fowler became a starter. Blair right through. Blair has 4 points. It's an 8-5 Illinois State lead.
Excellent penetration that time by the 6'3 senior. And look at the defensive pressure that Illinois State puts on you. Watch where Southern Illinois has to set up. They do a good job, the Redbirds do, of pushing you out of the spaces that you want on the floor.
Shipley can hit that, but he missed. Jones, great dish to Amaya.
Again, another offensive rebound for Jerry Jones. He's been a one-man wrecking club. That time he didn't score the point, but it was his rebound. An assist over to his teammate.
Jones had 15 rebounds in 1 game versus Illinois State, 13 in another. And he's been rebounding since this tournament began. Thomas, the jumper, no good. That would have been 3. Underneath, Blair off the glass. 10-7 Redbirds. And Blair, their top defensive player, has 6 points.
Just when you think you've got it all figured out, somebody steps up and comes up with a big game at crunch time. That's exactly what Randy Blair's doing.
Mayhem will take the jumper and convert it. Sterling Mayhem, that's his first 2. He's been averaging better than 15 a game this season.
When the going gets tough, Sterling Mayhem is the guy that takes it within himself to take over. He's done that every game this tournament. When Southern Illinois has needed a pick-me-up, he's been the man that's provided it.
To the outside, Thomas, down to Jackson, to Fowler on the baseline, uses the glass. Scott Fowler is strong.
That's the one thing that Bob Bender says. When Fowler came into the lineup, he gave the team an offensive threat. John Pemberton, who had been starting, is playing much better coming off the bench, but was not nearly the offensive threat that Fowler is.
McSwain came through and drew a foul. Ritz Heron doesn't agree. Freddie McSwain may not either, but that's 2 out of control or player control fouls on McSwain.
Get an excellent look at it. Fowler sliding over. You see the charge.
It's 12-9. The Redbirds have their crowd all fired up. They lead it by 3 in normal.
Now back to the Valley finale. JP and John.
What a great showcase event for the Missouri Valley Conference. There is standing room only here at the Redbird Arena. 2 excellent teams playing some of their best basketball coming into the tournament, and you have Illinois State leading it by the score of 12-9. While most of the crowd obviously favors Illinois State, there's a large contingent of fans here that have made the trek from Carbondale, Illinois to root on the Salukis. Here's Thomas penetrating, blocked. Jones was in there. Jones and Amaya actually were both in there, but I believe it's going to be Jones who'll get the foul. And it is.
Excellent penetration again by Thomas. He loses his man McSwain, and you see defensively what happens when Thomas is able to get by his man. Help defense has to commit, and Jones picks up a foul.
Bob Bender, who apprenticed at Duke University, where he played for them after transferring from Indiana. Low to Pemberton, who has just checked in. No good. He can rebound. He went up. He is fouled underneath. Mayhem may have been the one to reach in. It's going to be Rick Shipley. Shipley's first foul, not Mayhem. So at the line comes John Pemberton, who is shooting at 67%.
Early on, the Redbirds are doing an outstanding job in the rebounding department. They actually lead 8 total rebounds to 6. That's been a problem for them all year long against Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois led the conference in rebounding and rebounding margin. You see what John Pemberton's been able to do. Very consistent, right on his normal season averages.
He is a senior, so this is his last shot at it. Here comes Sterling Mayhem the other way. Mayhem just a junior to Shipley. He'll also return next year. Amaya on the baseline. He missed. Look at Jones again. Jones put it up. No good. A rebound foul on Pemberton.
The Redbirds went to a 2-3 zone, but again, you see the strength of Jerry Jones. Even the zone could not keep him out, and Pemberton picked up the foul. There's a 2-3 zone. Now watch Jones. Look at the excellent position. Look how strong he is. There's no way to block him out. And you see, just reaches right over Gerard Coleman. Too strong inside. And watch Pemberton using too much of the body that time.
And speaking of zone, in comes the zone buster, Matt Nguyen. There's the 3, and he got it.
Matt Nguyen is in the game to do one thing, and that's to put up the perimeter shot, and he does his job immediately.
He came in for Freddie McSwain. Rich Heron's first substitution. Normally it will be Kelvin Lawrence, but there they definitely wanted the outside shot. Blair to Jackson. Baseline, Coleman. No good, Jones. What a tremendous leaper.
But Jones took that one down with authority. No doubt about who had that rebound.
Mayhem on the miss. As Jones got up, looked like he fouled him. If so, that would be a couple on Jerry Jones. He did not have any fouls in his first game. Here's a look at Jerry. So Jones will have his second. The first day he had no fouls. Second game he had 4. He was in foul trouble. Boy, Illinois State's got to love this.
If you look at bench strength, Illinois State with a deeper bench than Southern Illinois, particularly up front. The Salukis really don't have a lot of depth on the inside game, and Jerry Jones will be difficult to replace. You see, the Redbirds already in the 1-1, 13:50 to go in the first half. They'll be at the free throw line early in this game.
Pemberton will again be at the line. Sam Skerich is in. Blair goes out. Antoine Hicks and Sonny Roberts have also checked in, so it's a whole new lineup for Bob Bender. Rich Hart says one of the reasons they play great defense is because they can always use fresh players. They go 10 deep on their bench.
And also defense is a common denominator. It keeps you in basketball games if the shot is not there. In the early 2 rounds here in the Missouri Valley tournament, Southern Illinois, as we talked about, got off to very slow starts, did not shoot the ball very well, but because they played good defense and controlled the rebounding area, they were able to stay in games where they would have been blown out.
You saw Kelvin Lawrence, 21, checking in for Ashraf Amaya. Jones is still rebounding so well, they don't want to take him out, even though he's gotten 2 quick fouls. Coming back the other way.
Redbirds are going to stay in the 2-3 zone.
Bell came in for Nguyen. And McSwain is also in for Mayhem. So both teams have gone to the bench early. McSwain outside the bell. Played 9 minutes against Tulsa. Lawrence, not a good pass. Look out as John Pemberton tried to save it. Had to hurdle a few cameramen in the process.
See some scores from around the NCAA.
Championship week of action here on ESPN as Southern Illinois will escort Rick Shipley. Pulls Southern to within 1. That's his first 2. Hicks picked up by McSwain. On the outside, Jackson, who has been scoreless in this one so far. Only 1 shot taken by Ricky. He can hit the 3. He's been shooting 6 for 13 from 3-point range in this tournament. Sonny Roberts, the senior, coming in against Shipley to the outside. Skerridge can't hit the 3. He steps inside, misses the 2. Kelvin Lawrence to the boards.
Big
Tyrone Bell.
Big trip down court for the Salukis. They try to regain the lead, possibly pull Illinois State out of the zone. They've been much more effective when they've been in that zone.
Shipley to kick out to Lawrence. Lawrence on the drive, pulls it up, misses the shot. Roberts the rebound. So they won't get the tying or the go-ahead basket there. Here's Jackson. Stop and pop.
Excellent transition that time by the Redbirds. Ricky Jackson under control. Came up with a big basket.
It was Jackson's first 2, and Jones equalizes. Jones has 5 points to lead the Salukis. You expect him to lead the team in rebounds, not really scoring, although he can score up there in double figures. Skerridge to Hicks. Not a good pass for Hicks to handle. McSwain on the go. To give us to Tyrone Bell.
Good job by Illinois State of getting back and cutting off the initial break that time by the Salukis.
Bell outside. Lawrence has it if he wants it. He changed his mind, and it was blocked by Roberts.
And look at the 2-3 zone. Illinois State inside that seam. Where you want to try to get it to. Watch Shipley. He's the key man for him against the zone.
But he missed the shot. Second straight time they've come up the floor with a chance to go ahead for Southern, and they've not done it.
Well, that time they got a good shot. Shipley just couldn't convert.
11:25 to go, first half. The Redbirds of Illinois State with it. Right side, Jackson. Moving baseline on Lawrence. Out of control as he missed it. Rebound fumble, but taken by Jones. He's going for broke. Skerridge intercepted.
That pass, if it's just lofted where he can run under it, there's no chance for Skerridge to pick it off, but the line drive pass picked off by Skerridge.
Right in front of the scorer's table, it's getting crowded. 3 players from each side ready to come on. You can see him at the corner of your screen. Jackson the pull-up. It was blocked. Bell got a piece. And Bell will get the rest of it from Lawrence coming up court. The jumper, in and out. McSwain had it and lost it. Pemberton to Antoine Hicks. 3 chances in a row for Southern to go ahead, and they've been unable to do it. Jackson, the senior from Michigan, from Mount Morris, Michigan.
Jackson's been very difficult man-to-man for the Salukis to handle. He's gone by a couple of players already.
Jackson feels it. He wants the ball now.
That time Jackson right on cue. He's the leader of this Redbird team, and he's been able to pick his game up a notch here in the tournament.
Freddie McSwain picks it up as well. He has 4 points, 19-18, a 1-point lead for Illinois State. 10 minutes to go in the first half.
If you're a college basketball fan, you couldn't ask for any more than we've seen in the first half here at Redbird Arena.
Pemberton has 5, 21-18, a 3-point lead for the Redbirds of Illinois State. Bell to the outside. Now to Lawrence. Bell cutting through. The kick out to McSwain. Dribbles on the baseline. McSwain was fouled down low by Ricky Jackson. His first personal foul, and it'll be the fourth team foul of the Redbirds. As John Albright told you, the other side, you got to get a bonus.
Great look at the penetration and one-on-one moves of Freddie McSwain. That's not supposed to be this easy. You see Jackson just leaning out of position just enough where he didn't establish his defense in position. Freddie McSwain, JP, if he picks that foul up, that's his third foul, and he'd have to go to the bench. So a big, big play that time. And instead of his third foul, McSwain will be at the line for 2 free throws.
It would have been his third straight offensive foul as well. McSwain is at the line. McSwain at the free throw line hit 10 of 13 against Tulsa. He's their best free throw shooter.
McSwain's so difficult because at 6'5", he's a big guard, yet if he gets by you, because of his great jumping ability, he can shoot over a 6'7", 6'8" man. You see what he's done on the year? He's picked up his game here in the tournament and an outstanding semifinal game against Tulsa.
Illinois State has a new 5-man unit out there, and we'll look at them when we come back to Redbird Arena. Right now, it's still a 1-point game for the Redbirds. We're back in the Missouri Valley Championship. Illinois State with a 1-point lead. A reminder that this telecast is an exclusive presentation of Creative Sports Marketing in association with ESPN. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of Creative Sports Marketing and ESPN is prohibited. Standing Room Only rarely tells you the story here. They love their basketball in Normal, Illinois, and the atmosphere is anything but normal. But I guess you'd have to say it is normal for college basketball.
See the tail inside. Both teams doing a good job. That's especially important for Illinois State. They're holding their own against the strong inside game of the Salukis.
Southern had it and lost it. Let's set up the lineups for you again because they're all different players. Blair is out there with Thomas, Elvin Flores, Fowler, and Coleman for the Redbirds. Shipley with Matt Nguyen, Mayhem, Amaya, and Jones. All right, check that back. Lawrence. Jones has got a little bit of a rest here. Thomas. So used to seeing Jones out there. The jumper is good on the baseline. Gerard Coleman. His first couple of points. And it's a 3-point lead again. Illinois State, it's been as big a lead as we've seen thus far.
The Redbirds back in man-to-man. They play a very aggressive team man-to-man defense.
Nguyen hits his second straight three. And that ties it.
That time he was well beyond the collegiate three-point line. That was a major league three-point shot that time by Nguyen.
John, during the course of the year, he shot that at 44%, so he knows how to do it. Here's Randy Blair to Fowler. Flores, pull-up jumper. No good, it was short. Calvin Lawrence has had some pretty big boards already. Here's Mayhem. Outside, Lawrence will take the three, in and out, but he followed up his own rebound. Here's Nguyen, he knows where the line is. It's good!
If you're Illinois State, you've got to keep a man shadowing Matt Nguyen wherever he goes. He's proved he can hit it. And defensively, you've got to pay much closer attention to. He's not a threat to go by you driving, but you can't allow him to set up for the three-point shot.
Fowler got it. How about his presence of mind? He knew that he was over the line. He took a step back and then hit it. Shipley, who has only had a couple of points so far, outside to Nguyen. Nguyen's been a hero. He's 3 for 3 from 3. Shipley had it stripped away. That helped defense.
That time Shipley put it on the floor, and as you mentioned, good help defense by the Redbirds.
Coleman gets free for the jab.
Every time the Redbirds have needed a pick-me-up, they've been able to get it, and this crowd still very much involved in this game.
Lawrence came in on the dish. He's called for the foul. Rich Herron not happy with it. Calvin Lawrence, the offensive foul. A 1-point lead for the Illinois State Redbirds as we go to break.
In the Illinois State scheme of things, drawing the charge is not something that is unusual. They practice this at least once a week and watch the results. They pay dividends. You see Fowler going over, drawing the charge. Usually you have a couple guys on a team that regularly take the charge, but in Bob Bender's system, he had every single player practice taking the charge. You see what that Redbird fan thinks all about tonight's championship game.
Coming back the other way of the Redbirds as we look at the turnovers. Southern with 7-3 for Illinois State, but the points off turnovers, Illinois State has converted theirs 6-0.
That's the key, and again, Southern has averaged 21 turnovers against this club during the year.
Let's talk about what happened there. First of all, how does Coleman get so far open?
Well, that time Coleman did a good job of sealing off his man. Once the defensive man committed, he did a good job of sealing him off. Now watch Shipley. He's going to battle around in front. Coleman does a good job sealing him off. There's no backside help in time. You see Shipley out of position. Coleman with a strong inside move. But when you go out and you try to deny the entry pass, like Rick Shipley was doing, offensively, you've got to turn and seal him off. Now Shipley's got to rely on backside help. That time Mayhem couldn't get there in time.
Coleman 10 for 11 at the free throw line in this tournament. 11 for 12.
Full court pressure now. First time we've seen it from the Redbirds.
Mayhem, and he was fouled by Randy Blair. That is Blair's first foul. Second consecutive year that Blair has made the All-Valley defensive team. And as we told you before, Bob Bender knows that he's got the defensive player of the year in Randy Blair. I'm sure he's sorry that he's going to lose him, though, next year. Blair, one of 3 seniors in that starting lineup, Jackson and Coleman. And they also lose Pemberton off the bench and Sonny Roberts. Mayhem, nowhere to go that way. He'll bring it out.
That time you saw the great help defense. Once Mayhem was getting just a shoulder by Thomas, he had some help from his teammates.
Jones tried to dish it to Lawrence, it looked like, and it went out of play.
JP, that's the 8th turnover that Bob Bender's Redbirds have forced. Again, turnovers have been a problem. When the Redbirds force 20 or more turnovers, they're 7-1.
Now Southern has been averaging 15 turnovers, and they're better than halfway there now. Here's Blair with a jumper, no good. Freddie McSwain sky high for the rebound. McSwain will take it all the way back to Mayhem, and Thomas got him. Richard Thomas. But Bob Bender likes the enthusiasm and the aggressiveness of the freshman.
Fortunate break that time for the Salukis, because Thomas was in perfect position to come up with that steal.
Thomas has had at least 1 steal in 20 consecutive games. That is one incredible stat. Here's Antoine Hicks from Chicago. He'll take over for Thomas. But you know that Thomas is going to come back soon. It's a freshman that's going to get a lot of minutes. He's the first freshman to start in every one of their games in the last 13 years here at Illinois State. McSwain, the pull-up jumper, around and out. Randy Blair will drive inside. No good. Too hard off the glass, but it came to Fowler. Coleman, the turnaround. It's good. Mayhem coming back.
You can feel the momentum. It has clearly shifted to all Redbirds.
Coleman has 10 points. Jackson and Coleman, 12 points. Rich Heron says timeout, but who can hear him? 34-26. The Redbirds have pulled away with an 8-point lead.
In the last 2:23 of this basketball game, the Redbirds have taken control. They're on an 11-0 run. And the man that has done most of that damage is Gerard Coleman. He has scored 11 of the last 13 Redbird points. And you think coaches don't get excited? Look at his head coach. That's it. Push it down the floor. And watch his reaction. You think he made that bucket, JP? You bet he did.
That's Alice Hunter, who will soon be married to Bob Bender. And she's rooting the Redbirds on. They steal it. Lost it. Got it back. Good effort by Coleman. Here's Nguyen from the outside. He got it. And you know what? Bob Bender's reaction was unbelievable. He knew as soon as Nguyen got that ball, no one was on him, and it was going to cost him.
Matt Nguyen is a perfect 4 for 4 for this game. He's been the big spark plug. Now, Rich Heron's club, they've been here before. This is an experienced team. Look for them to try to get right back in it before the halftime.
Someone has to cool off Coleman, though, for Southern Illinois. He has 14 points. and 13 of their last 15.
This is where the Salukis would really like to jam it inside, try to get a high percentage shot. We're going to have a foul away from the ball.
And I believe Blair got caught for holding. He was looking at Blair or Jackson. We'll have to wait and see what number Jim Bain flashes. Foul is going to be at Blair. And that'll be his second.
What an outstanding job Bob Bender has done here. Enthusiasm here on campus is unbelievable. He's done an outstanding job, and it's only his first year. The only problem with all this, what do you do for an encore?
I don't know. I know he could run for mayor and get elected.
Matt Nguyen, he's hit 4 3-pointers, perfect, and ties a career high.
Played in only 8 games as a freshman. We're not talking about an experienced player here, and he's coming in and having the game of his career to this point, his short career.
Well, Rich Heron says that Matt Nguyen's got the green light from the minute he steps on the floor, and the one thing he's in there for, and his teammates know it, is to put up that 3-point shot. So far, he has delivered for the Salukis.
And the man who coached him in high school was Rich Heron's brother, Ron, who succeeded him at Benton High School. Hicks to Blair, 36-31. Southern Illinois has cut the lead from 8 to 5. Coming through, Jackson out of control, no good, and Amaya has it for Mayhem. 4:20 to go in the first half. Now they're watching Nguyen. Outside is Shipley, down low, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Amaya. His second.
Good job by Jackson. Defensively, you take away the baseline, and watch what he does. Amaya's going to take it down the baseline. Jackson takes away the baseline, and you see the charge. Took away the baseline. Good defensive. If you're a defensive player, JP, the one area you don't give up is that baseline. Good job by the Redbirds of getting there and taking it away.
Redbirds with a 5-point lead. There's your time remaining. We're approaching the 4-minute mark here in the first half of play. This is the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game. The winner of this gets the automatic bid for berth in the NCAA. The right side, Hicks. To Williams, who just came on. Low to Coleman. Jones got a piece and gets the rest.
He is so strong defensively. He didn't block that shot, but there he forced a bad shot and able to come up with a rebound.
Jackson just committed his second foul. Seems like everybody's got 2 fouls out there.
It's been a very physical basketball game. A lot of contests inside. Now watch Mayhem. Going to slide by, and Jackson actually called for reaching in prior to the contact you see right there.
McSwain comes in for Nguyen. Matt Nguyen gets a well-deserved breather.
What a job he has done so far in the first half. He's really kept his Southern Illinois team in this game.
And they were worried about getting off to a slow start and what the crowd could do. We saw what the crowd could do and the slow start, but we also saw what Matt Nguyen could do.
See what Mayhem's done. He's such a competitor. Outstanding individual fighter, does not concede anything. And the Salukis, although they've had problems shooting in this game, they're only down by 5, JP. Emotionally, it's been all Redbirds in the first half, yet if you're a Saluki fan, still plenty of time to go, and you're only down by 5.
Mayhem, 71% free throw shooter who missed those 2. Calvin Lawrence is getting ready to check back in for the Salukis. Out of control on that pass was Williams as he tried to find Fowler. Williams doesn't get all that much playing time. He is a sophomore.
Well, he made the mistake of leaving his feet to do something other than to shoot the basketball. You leave your feet to do one thing, that's to put the ball up to the goal. You don't need to pass. That time, he got caught hanging in the turnover resulted.
This is his first action in this tournament, and they've already played 2 games. Mayhem, who led the Valley in steals, to Shipley. There's Calvin Lawrence. The jumper no good. Williams got the rebound, and no one is going to take it from him. We're less than 3 minutes away from the end of the first half. 5-point Redbird lead, 7.
That time the Redbirds caught the Salukis napping. Nobody picked up Fowler. Nice job by Hicks of recognizing that his front court teammate was open, and Fowler did a nice job of canning the open jumper.
And on that baseline, Rick Shipley will get his 4th foul. Speaking of Fowler, he has 8 points. He was the player of the game in the opening round game of this tournament. Had 16 in that winning effort against Drake. Hicks pulls it out to Jackson. Jackson's been quiet so far. He's got 4. Almost had 6. It went beyond Shipley's reach. Double dribble, no travel. Travel on Fowler.
Tough break that time for the Redbirds because Fowler and Hicks were both there. Actually, Fowler, because he's so much bigger than Hicks, he ran into Hicks and knocked him off, and the travel resulted. You see the turnovers. Southern Illinois has had far too many for Rich Herron, but the Redbirds slowly catching up in that category.
Mayhem, who had checked out, is going to check back in. And Calvin Lawrence will go out. There's John Pemberton. He has done well for this club in a reserve role. Last year he started, then he had a foot injury, came back too soon, re-injured it, so it was pretty much a wasted year, but he's made up for that his senior year. Mayhem to McSwain.
You're Southern Illinois, you'd like to see McSwain and Mayhem get more involved at the offensive end. Try to loosen it up. A little one-on-one move is exactly what Rich Herron would like to see those two guys get.
Shipley to Bell. To Shipley cutting across. I thought he got his hand whacked by Pemberton. Pemberton does draw the foul.
Well, there was definitely contact between Pemberton and Shipley. Pemberton will pick up his second foul. You see Bob Bender is going to go to his bench. Let's watch it. The contact occurring right there. Pemberton again trying to deny position. He clearly whacked Rick Shipley. And the contact, you see Ed Hightower calls the foul, and Shipley will be at the free throw line for a one-on-one opportunity.
Shipley, like Mayhem, the only 2 people on this club that have played in all 32 games, that have started all 32. He's been very durable. There are his figures in the tourney. He's averaging better than 13 points a game. But more importantly for Shipley in terms of durability, as we look at Skerich coming in for Williams, is the fact that he's played Shipley in 93 of 94 games in his career.
Well, Shipley, one of the most difficult men to match up with in the Missouri Valley because at 6'8", he can shoot the perimeter shot. Will shoot the three-point shot. Yet because of his size, he can go inside.
Free throws are a problem for Shipley, like Jones and Amaya. That's their weakness. But boy, can they go for those boards. Here comes Hicks. Almost lost it as he put it down. Flores to Hicks. A 5-point Redbird lead. Illinois stayed up with a minute and a half to go in the first half. Sonny Roberts. Picked up by Shipley. Roberts taking it in. He got the baseline.
Basket by Sonny Roberts.
40-33. It's a 7-point lead now for the Redbirds.
If you're Southern Illinois, your top 3 scorers, McSwain, Jones, or Mayhem, have not scored a field goal in 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
Here come the Redbirds. Flores has it. The lead is back up to 9 with 50 seconds to go.
So important as a team how you go into the half, and right now the Redbirds are going in exactly the way Bob Bender would like to see them go into the half.
And they can hold for the last shot. Shot clock is off. They love it here in Normal.
Very impressive first half performance by Bob Bender's Illinois State Redbirds. They lead it by 9, but keep in mind, this is an experienced Rich Herron Southern Illinois team. They have done a good job of maintaining their composure in this tournament. They started off slowly both games, the quarterfinals and semis, and were able to rebound at the half.
Fowler is back in, but there's a 5-second violation. I'll give credit to Sam Skerich. He tried to get the timeout, but Ed Hightower right there, so that's fine.
That could be a big play for Rich Herron and his club. You see Bob Bender. Now Nguyen, you know what he's coming in to do, set up for that three-point shot, but could be a big turnaround. You got to figure that Illinois State should have gone in no worse than 9 points up with a three-point shot if the Salukis were able to get it, and you'd cut it to a 6-point lead.
They hand to Shipley. They want to work that time off the clock and not put it up now. It's 30 seconds left. Mayhem will come out for it.
This is where, with the defense spread, this is where McSwain and Mayhem are extremely dangerous. With the defense spread out, playing man-to-man, their individual one-on-one moves are extremely difficult to guard man-to-man.
They've got to go forward. There's only 12 seconds now. Sometimes you wait too long. Like right now. They're in trouble. Nguyen, 4 seconds. He's got to put it up. Forced it. No good. Roberts took it. We're at halftime. It's a 9-point lead for the Illinois State Redbirds, and the crowd is very much a factor here in Normal, Illinois. At halftime, we turn things back to Chris Fowler.
Okay, thanks, fellas. So the Redbirds and Scott Fowler, any guy named Fowler out of the Chicago area, has to be a great player, have a lead at halftime. Bob Bender of the Redbirds trying to become a first-year coach in the NCAA tournament. Here's a look at the guys in their first year of head coaching who have a chance to get to the tournament. Bender at 32, one of the youngest coaches in the country, played in 2 Final Fours at Indiana and at Duke. Tommy Vardaman is centenary, 2 wins away in the Trans-America Conference. Jimmy Anderson probably already in with Oregon State as Roger Reed is at BYU. Dick Hunsaker, top seed in the Mid-American Conference. And Randy Ayers at Ohio State. He's in a state leading the Salukis of Southern Illinois 42-33. The Missouri Valley Championship game. Let's go back to JP and John.
Thank you, Chris. Here at halftime, Illinois State leading at 42-33. The biggest surprise, though, John Albright, is that they have out-rebounded the Salukis, and the Salukis have been the best rebounding team in the Valley all year.
Bob Bender's Redbirds have done an excellent job of blocking out where the Salukis want to be, particularly at the offensive end. And they've done a good job at the other end. They have held their own. The other big key, turnovers. They've done a good job of forcing the Salukis into double figures turnovers in the first half. So the rebounding situation, which actually the Redbirds actually have a 2-rebound advantage, and the turnovers have been the big difference here in the first half.
This is the worst field goal shooting team in the last 20 years for the Redbirds, but you wouldn't know it by the way they're putting it up today.
Well, they play extremely good defense, and when they shoot over 50% like they did in the first half, that's just a bonus. They work so hard at the defensive end, again, denying you position offensively where you want to set up, but they are shooting extremely well. Very emotional first half for the Redbird club.
Let's take a look at the first half statistics and see what they tell us about the way this first half went.
And you can see the field goals there. Very impressive for Illinois State. Actually got 4 more attempts, free throws, excellent rebound. There's the big stat in the first half. That in the turnovers. The Salukis with 11 turnovers. You see the 3-point field goals. If Matt Nguyen was not involved in the first half, he hit all 4 of those 3-point goals. Southern Illinois would be in an extremely difficult position. As it is, they're only 9 down with a chance to come back.
One of the players that we thought, both John and I, would be a key factor in this game has not been one so far, and that's Rick Shipley. Only 4 points, but Illinois State has kept him completely off the boards. We don't show him for any rebounds on our first half statistics. So at the end of the first half of play, it's an emotional crowd here. They're happy because the Redbirds have a 9-point lead over Southern Illinois.
ESPN's Championship Week, the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game, is brought to you by Volvo, the car that's famous for its safety, durability, and longevity, and by Murray Mowers, tough as they come.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Missouri Valley Conference Championship here on Championship Week on ESPN. And this crowd has certainly gotten their money's worth. It's a 42-33 game, but it's not over yet. Let's look at the scoring leaders.
Well, Coleman averaging 12.8. He's already got his average in the first half. Very balanced attack for the Redbirds. For the Salukis, the surprise, Matt Nguyen only averaging 4 points, but what a contribution he came through with in the first half. But McSwain and Mayhem need to see much more of those two guys moving up that column in the second half.
And we need to see much more of these guys. College basketball here in Normal. They've got a lot of great signs here in this building tonight. There's Bob Bender, and it's been a great sign for his team that his team is up there by 9. And who said to cue the signage? Ted, there have been a lot of great games in this tournament. We salute the other teams that have been here. Creighton had a great game but lost to Illinois State. And before that, Tulsa, in their second tough game in as many days, gave Southern all they could handle until the closing 5 minutes. So credit to those two clubs and everyone that participated in this year's Valley Tournament this season.
JP, very important for Southern Illinois to do a much better job defensively. In the first half, they gave up 8 layups to Illinois State. They've got to do a better job defensively. And again, they give up an easy shot inside to Fowler.
Fowler's in double figures with 10 points. Mayhem will bring it back to Amaya. McSwain, good recovery. Mayhem for 3. No good. Rebounded. Fowler off his fingertip. So it stays that way. But Southern and Rich Herron have to figure out a way to get others in the offense. They can't win this game unless Matt Nguyen scores 30 the way this is going. Someone else has to hit.
Well, important for Rich Herron's club, as you see, the official, Ron Zetcher, stepping in, going to spread everybody apart, not going to let emotions run high. Now, what he's saying is that the defensive man is entitled to a position between the two Southern Illinois players. And that's exactly what Fowler did. He went to the official and said, I want that position. And he got it. But for Rich Herron's club, very important that they not panic, not try to get too much back too quick. This is an experienced club. Look for them to be very patient to try to get back in this championship game.
They didn't get to be the champions of the Valley this year because of luck or mirrors. They did it with skill and hard work. It's a very fine team. The best record ever for the Salukis. Foul before the shot. 44-33 as Fowler committed his first personal foul. It's an 11-point lead for Illinois State. And Jones is at the line, or he's not at the line, I'm sorry, it was not in the act of shooting. Here's McSwain down low to Shipley. He's not hitting.
That's tough because that's a good high percentage shot, one that Rick Shipley normally will hit, and a good shot exactly where Rich Herron would like to see his club take shots from.
Jackson pulls up off the glass, no good, but Shipley gets his first rebound. Here comes Mayhem. Outside. Shipley gave it to Jones. A late dish to Amaya. And they're going to say no basket and a foul underneath.
Well, a nice unselfish play that time by Jerry Jones. He might have been better off going ahead and taking the shot, but he saw his teammate Amaya open. You see Bob Bender, he's going to go to his bench.
Blair's third personal foul. Randy Blair, the top defensive player in the Valley this year, has 3. I tell you, I know McSwain and Mayhem would love to see Blair foul out.
Boy, nobody's guarding Matt Nguyen. Immediately, the defense adjusted once they realized he was in the game.
Flores is in. Blair goes out. Shipley to McSwain. Low to Jones. Goes up against 2 players and makes it count.
Excellent job of Jerry Jones spreading out, keeping his man sealed off once he got open underneath. And as big and strong as he is, he's going to be very effective from 5 feet.
Thomas gives it to Flores. Flores is Richard Thomas's uncle, if you can believe that. So they're keeping it in the family. Here's Fowler. He got it.
Again, Fowler, when he was asserted in the starting lineup, gave this team much more offense.
McSwain got it. He took a bump and as he put up that shot, so it'll count. Plus, he drew the foul. And if that's Thomas, that'll be his 3rd.
Look, excellent job by Mayhem of pushing it up to McSwain. And one of the few times all game long, the Salukis have been able to get it down floor. You see that extra little bump by Jackson. He had good position, but he initiated the contact and picking up his 3rd foul. That'd be key if Southern could get Jackson to pick up that 4th foul, particularly early in the second half.
I had identified it at the foul as Thomas. It was Ricky Jackson's 3rd foul, and he'll take a breather. Xavier Williams will check in, number 32. Jackson, only 4 points. Who would have believed that Illinois State would have this big of a lead with Jackson only having 4 points? McSwain has it going in and out. And conversely, who would think that Southern would have only 6 for McSwain at this point?
And would have been out-rebounded in the first half of play.
On the baseline, look at Thomas, but he missed. Mayhem looked like he was going to get a nice reversal. Kicks it out to Shipley. Off a deflection. Williams. The jam.
Again, JP, it's the defense of Illinois State that continues to play superbly in this basketball game. Excellent timing that time by Illinois State.
They won all year with defense. If they win tonight, it will be for defense as well. Jones, offensive foul. He was doing well to the last move.
Well, when Jones ducked his shoulder, that's where the foul occurred, and you see the reaction of these Redbird fans. You see again, Jones gets the ball. Watch him duck his shoulder. Charge right over Fowler. Look at it from the low angle. Jones so strong. Watch him just turn it down. No doubt about that call. Excellent position that time by Scott Fowler.
Rich Herron wants the boards. He sends Amaya in for a win. But Southern has to do a better job of protecting the ball, let alone shooting the ball. Here's Flores.
Southern Illinois now in a a 1-3-1 zone with Sterling Mayhem, who's only 6'1". He's running the baseline. Excellent leaper, but Southern with a 1-3-1 zone.
Thomas, a member of the Valley's all-newcomer team, and he finished second to Amaya in the voting. Two very gifted players with a great future in the Valley. Short is Fowler, but a tip-in. Coleman got the tip. There's Amaya, in and out. And as they fight for it, it's a held ball. Possession stays there. On the alternate possession arrow, Southern maintains possession. Amaya came very close to picking up an offensive foul. He used a little bit of the muscle the way Jones did when he was called. Out to Jones, and he quickly put it up. That's a very graceful move by the big man. He has 9 points, 50-39. It's an 11-point lead. Pemberton getting ready to check back into the lineup for Bob Bender's Redbirds.
Saluki stay in the 1-3-1 zone.
Flores, the winner of this game, gets the automatic berth in the NCAA tournament. And that's Illinois State's only chance of getting in. Southern could have a shot, though, even if they lose this. That's what everyone is saying, but Rich Herron doesn't want to take any chances as Coleman misses off the tip.
Good job by Shipley of blocking out Fowler, who went over his back picking up the foul. That's Scott Fowler's second personal foul. Now watch Shipley. He does a great job of blocking out. Watch him. There's nothing Fowler can do except come over the back. Good job by Rick Shipley. Get a look at Bob Bender. He's pleading his case for his man. The official felt differently.
Sterling Mayhem will bring it up court. Sam Skerritt's getting ready to check back in for the Redbirds. Underneath is Shipley.
That's something that Southern Illinois likes to see more of, and that's uncontested shots. That's how they got a nice one, and Shipley was able to finish it off.
Flores with it. It's still a 9-point lead for the Redbirds. It's been the biggest lead of the night. On the pass down low, Jones fiercely blocked that one. But the Redbirds maintain possession. Blocked, I thought, by McSwain. Instead, he kicked it. And Skerritt will check into the lineup for the Redbirds. He will replace... Well, we'll see who he replaces when we come out, but he'll be into the lineup. It's a 9-point lead for the Redbirds with 15:34 to go. We've seen some great basketball here. We've also seen an attendance record established. More people have seen or are watching this game than have ever watched a Valley Championship game. 10,625 on hand, and of those, 10,200 people have seats. So some person here, probably the fire marshal, is one of those standing.
See the storyline. Look at the inside game for the Redbirds. That's been a key for them, holding their own inside.
Low to Coleman. Shipley commits the foul. That is his third, and like Jerry Jones, they each have 3.
And operating against the zone, nice over-the-top pass. There's the problem. Mayhem at 6'1", no match for the 6'7" Coleman, and you see Shipley have to help out picking up the foul. But that over-the-top pass, particularly the angle, is going to be open. And keep in mind, Mayhem's only 6'1". Now, he's got great jumping ability, but he's at a disadvantage when he goes up against the 6'7" Coleman.
15 points for Gerard. 3 above his average. Misses the free throw. He's been hot at that free throw line. Came into the game 10 for 11. Coleman for the tourney. 13 points. 3+ rebounds. Hits the free throw. 16 Gerard Coleman points, and the lead is 10, the biggest lead of the night for Illinois State.
Illinois State, now they're going to go back in the zone themselves in a 2-3 zone.
Off the fingertips of McSwain, he saved it. And now Mayhem, double team to Amaya. Southern working it again to Freddie McSwain. That tough Illinois State defense. They find the pass to the baseline. Jones with a big jam.
Jerry Jones just too strong inside for the Redbirds. Once he gets it in that position, he's devastating, and it's only an 8-point lead. Southern Illinois very much in this game.
Skerritt all the way across. Thomas will give it back to Skerritt. He can hit the 3. In and out. Rebound was slapped out. Last touch by Southern Illinois. Rich Herron has won 616 games at the high school level and proving that he can win at the college level as well. Here's Skerich turning to the baseline. And it's going the other way. Lane, I think he stepped on the line.
That's exactly what he did, stepped on the baseline.
Some scores from around the NBA. Portland have defeated the Knicks. Utah beating Orlando. Look at the turnovers up top. Southern with 13, 8 the other way. Phoenix just gets by Atlanta. And the scores continue to roll along as the Pistons are hot. Here's Shipley cutting it down low. Forced a bad pass. Everybody wants it. Great dish by McSwain and Jones. That's a big basket.
Big basket. The momentum starting to shift. Rich Herron's club only down by 6.
A held ball there would have done them no good. The alternate possession arrow was going the other way, favoring Illinois State. Jackson is back in for the Redbirds. Thomas, I thought, walked, and so did Jim Bain. Right in front of Bob Bender, who wants a timeout, and that's a smart call. Bob Bender wants a timeout because he has seen a 10-point lead drop down to 6, and the Saluki fans, at least, love it here in Normal. 51-45, Illinois State on top, but Southern Illinois is coming back strong. Welcome back, everyone, to Redbird Arena. There's your score. Illinois State up by 6, but Rich Herron's team has made a comeback. They were down by 10, and one of Rich's biggest rooters is Mrs. Herron, looking on. I don't know what she was looking like when the lead was 10, and there's Rich's daughter right beside her, but she's much happier now, but she has seen some great basketball games, and Rich Herron always introduces her at every function. He says she's a reason for my success.
Well, another positive note for the Salukis. In the second half, Jerry Jones has taken over. He scored 8 of the Salukis' 12 points in this half. He had 5 at the break, so he's got 13 for the game.
Here's Shipley for 3, but it's no good. Tipped by Jones once. Amaya. McSwain. Coming in, the pull-up jumper. Off the glass. Look at Jones again, and then Shipley got it. That's amazing rebounding.
Southern Illinois sending many people to the board. They're starting to control that offensive glass, and they're only 4 down.
Thomas outside. Jackson sees the 3. No good. Off a tip. Southern's got it. On the run, here's Mayhem. The pull-up. Short from 2. Rebound. Amaya, no good. Look at Jones again. Unbelievable.
JP, how Jerry Jones got that tip up, I'll never know. That's his left hand. What a strong player. We've got a 2-point game.
And the thing that everyone says is amazing about him is that it's his second leap, not so much his first. Most guys can get up the first time. Here's Fowler. He gets up. No good. Coleman. He got it. And a foul.
That is an extremely big basket for Illinois State. They desperately needed 2 points. That time down court. Let's look at Jerry Jones. Watch the action. This is the trip prior down. Amaya's going to go up. And watch Jones. That's his left hand. He reached all the way to the other side of the goal and found a way to get it up and in. What a strong 6'6" player he is. Plays much bigger than his 6'6" frame would indicate.
Coleman is at the line. Got it. 19 points for Coleman. And now Coleman will check out and Roberts will come in. What an amazing game Coleman's had. If for any reason this is going to be his last game because he is a senior, he's going out in style with 19 points. But if they win this, they'll go on in the NCAA. If they lose, who knows? They might still get an NIT bid.
Well, important for Rich Herron's club. They're right back in it. They've done a nice job of not panicking, taking it one possession at a time, and this is going to be a game.
Last touch by the Redbirds. There, what I've noticed Jones do so well tonight is when he gets it down low, he'll make that last second dish, and they've got to be ready for it. Nguyen will come in for Rich Herron, and Freddie McSwain will sit out, but he's just going to sit at the scorer's table, so he knows he's coming back in.
Well, we talked about Jerry Jones. He's got 11 rebounds on the game, so he is taking over again. He's been a one-man wrecking crew against the Redbirds all year long. He has averaged 19.5 points, 14 rebounds against this club.
5 of those rebounds here in the second half. He had 6 in the first. Matt Nguyen. They're going to guard against that 3, at least for now. Mayhem, here's his shot clock ticking down to as low as it's gone for Southern. Down to 7. They're not aware of it. Jones hammered by Roberts with 3 on the shot clock. I don't think Southern knew how much time was on the clock.
Again, look how strong Jerry Jones is. He does a nice job of shielding off Fowler, and you see Roberts having to come over and help out. Jones so strong. Very difficult for one man to guard him because he's so strong.
Roberts will go out. Coleman comes back in, and on the other side, McSwain in and Nguyen out. They're just giving guys like McSwain a few seconds off just to catch their breath and right back on.
See what he's done? He has really picked it up in the second half. He has taken his teammates and put them on their back as he's controlled the second half for the Salukis, but can't do it from the free throw line.
They'll have another try. 54-49, a 5-point lead. 12 of their 16 in this half.
He's got the shoulders to carry a team, and he's doing that in the second half.
Well, he's 6'6", 230. He missed, but McSwain got it. Put it up. That's a good one to get back for McSwain, especially after he missed, or Jerry Jones missed the 2 free throws. It's down to 3. Thomas to Blair.
Southern Illinois continuing to stay in that 1-3-1 zone. It's been effective for them. They've made the comeback while getting in the zone.
Fowler put it down to the floor. Now to Blair. Off the glass and in. Blair has 8 points.
Big basket. Going to get a good look at the man-to-man of Illinois State. Again, they do a good job of denying you position on the floor and cutting off the communication for the outlet pass if you're a guard.
Mayhem, it drops in. I don't know if Jones got it or not.
Well, Rich Herron wants a technical for holding on to the rim. He's not going to get it, but the basket will count.
That's only 4 points, though, for Mayhem. He's had a quiet night, but you've got to credit that Redbird defense. Jackson for the 3, and he got it! He is 7 for 14, shooting 3s in the tournament. Right before it, we've got a foul. And they're looking at Thomas, the freshman. That'll be his 3rd personal foul.
Southern Illinois has scored on 8 straight possessions, and Freddie McSwain trying to make it 9. You see Thomas reaching in. No doubt about the reach in. The Salukis will have it on the inbounds play.
Antoine Hicks is in for Thomas. Kelvin Lawrence checks in for the Salukis, replacing Amaya. This is their quicker lineup with Lawrence in there. Mayhem. 10:35 to go in the game. It's a 6-point lead for the 2nd seed Redbirds of Illinois State. Mayhem off the glass. He got a roll again.
Sometimes as a player, when you get a break like that basket Mayhem just got, that'll spur you on. He needs a break, and he needs to be involved offensively for Rich Herron in the second half.
That's 2 in a row that he scored the same way. The steal. McSwain coming through. The layup is no good. That could have been a big turnover.
Well, that's a momentum changer if he makes it, and it shifts the momentum again when he missed it.
Jackson blocked. They're coming back again. Here's McSwain this time. Blocked by Blair. The rebound, Lawrence. Calvin Lawrence with a big couple on the rebound. Richard was telling us today he played some at center because he was the tallest player on his high school team, so he's used to getting some rebounds down low.
Very important for Illinois State to get a good shot this trip down court. They've been able to answer every run that Salukis have given them so far.
Jackson off contact, no good. Tip to Mayhem. Sterling on the rock. Going out, no good. And a foul underneath. That's 4 on Randy Blair. That could be key before this one's over.
This is a big foul, and you're going to see Sterling Mayhem. This is the explosive ability he has. He just blows right by Hicks, and Blair's going to try to pick up the charge. See him moving right there. Indecision cost him that foul. Again, Mayhem goes right by Hicks. Now watch Blair. He'll come in. A little bend right there. Didn't establish and keep his position. And that's his 4th foul. That is a big foul, and he'll have to sit down.
Don't look now, but that 11-point lead has gone down to 2. Southern Illinois showing how they won the regular season championship in the Valley. They came into this game at 26-6, the best ever record for any Saluki team. Mayhem puts it through.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Illinois State reacts. They have been in the lead for virtually the entire game. The last time it was tied up was with 8:47 to go in the first half, 23-all. It's been all Illinois State since then, and now it's all even.
Mayhem connected on a couple of free throws.
The Redbirds in a battle. Southern Illinois has battled back from a large lead of 11 points to find themselves all even.
McSwain reached in and knew it. But that's his third foul on Freddie McSwain. What's happening, though, with Southern? How are they beating this Redbird defense that they couldn't beat before?
Well, Jerry Jones has been instrumental inside. He has taken over. Also, they've not been able to get a lot of good shots that they got in the first half. Remember, JP, they had 8 layups in the first half. They've been unable to get the easy shot in the second half. Credit Southern Illinois' defense. They've done a much better job in the second half, and Jerry Jones has taken over inside in the second half.
There's Jackson, watched by Shipley. Down low, the turnaround. Coleman hit it. He has been immense. He has 21 points.
Big basket for the Redbirds.
Illinois State with a 61-59 lead. I had said before their biggest lead for the Redbirds was 11. I stand corrected, it was 13. Mayhem. Coming back on the pull-up jumper. Nice punch, Mayhem.
He's starting to warm up, and Sterling Mayhem, the second leading scorer at 15.8 points a game for the Salukis, is being much more involved in the second half offensively.
Underneath Pemberton, the stick back, no good. Tipped by McSwain, he saved it, but it's going to go out. Good effort.
He did the right thing when he didn't know where he was. He threw it to his offensive goal, but what he didn't realize, he had a teammate right in front of him. You're Rich Herron, you've got to be pleased at the gunny comeback his team has had in the second half to get right back in this game.
From 13 down at one point to a tied-up game.
Salukis now in a 2-3 zone. They've alternated between the 1-3-1, now in the 2-3 zone here in the second half.
The kick out to Flores. Back for Thomas, the freshman. Out of control, but he got it. That's big time. It didn't look pretty, but it went down.
Most freshmen would never think about taking that difficult a shot, but Thomas took it and made it.
Shipley, in and out. McSwain right back. That one almost went in. There was a foul, and it looks like, let's see, as Ed Hightower goes over to make it, Jackson. Gerard Coleman it is. It's his second foul on Coleman. Gerard Coleman, what a game he's had. 21 points as he gets a breather, and Sonny Roberts, coming into your screen, will check in the senior. And now Amaya comes in replacing Jones. You've got to give Jones some kind of a rest. He has been unbelievable. There he is, Jerry Jones in his second half. And that's a guy that, because of being a transfer from the University of Texas at El Paso, Rich Herron told us earlier he'd only played 2.5 years of college basketball, and he's been in it for 5. McSwain hits the free throw. Double figures for McSwain as Bob Bender looks on in 27 of 30 games this year. So Freddie's been very consistent. McSwain missed the second one. Pemberton the rebound. 63-62, Illinois State with a 1-point lead. We've got a great one for you from the Redbird Arena.
Now going to get out of the zone. They're going to play man-to-man. Again, another defensive switch for the Salukis.
Flores with a give to Pemberton right back on the kickout. Flores goes up the left-hander off the boards. No good. There's Jackson. Wants it up. Foul by Lawrence. Jackson was not going to be denied.
Strong inside move by Jackson. Watch him come up with a big offensive board. Shot's going to go out. Now watch Jackson. He's got good positioning. Comes up with it. It's going to give a little head fake. Lawrence is going to buy it. You see him out of position. Nothing he can do at that point. Strong move that time by the senior, Ricky Jackson.
And Illinois State's best free throw shooter goes to the line. Below his average tonight. so far, but there's still 7:07 to play.
But again, he's the leader of this Redbird team. When the going gets tough, he's the guy that teammates look to.
We're told that he will leave probably tomorrow for the funeral of his mother, who lost a long-running bout with cancer, and our condolences certainly to the Jackson family in their time of crisis. It's been a tough week in college basketball. Of course, the Hank Gathers story we've all seen. Very rough week. Ricky Jackson gets a couple of free throws. He has 9 points. 7:07 to go in the game, and it's anybody's game. This is the Missouri Valley Championship. Thanks, Chris. I'm sure you'd love it if you were here. There's great atmosphere here at the Redbird Arena. 65-62, Illinois State leading it by 3. There are your timeouts left, each with 3. Possession arrow favors Illinois State, and a look at your fouls. Illinois State with 5, and Southern is in the bonus situation. Mayhem will bring it up court. Picked up by Richard Thomas, the freshman. Now to Shipley. Southern at one point, if you're just joining us, trailed this half by as many as 13. They were down 9 at the half. Outside Lawrence to Mayhem. Shipley trying to post low against Pemberton. Lost on the baseline. Flores comes up with a big one for the Redbirds.
Very rare that you see Sterling Mayhem stripped like that. Good defensive play that time by Flores.
Ricky Jackson giving it up to Flores. Now to Thomas. Flores picked up by Mayhem. Jackson on the drive. Out of control, but Roberts, great position.
Big offensive rebound, that time by Sonny Roberts. Nobody blocked him out, and he had an easy stick back.
Mayhem. Now a 5-point lead, and reaching in was Pemberton, fouling Amaya. Pemberton's 3rd personal foul. Remember, Southern is in the bonus.
Watch Amaya and Pemberton. You see the body foul right there. There's the foul, the contact. Pemberton reaching around, trying to deny that entry pass. And Ashraf Amaya will go to the line. Fowler checking back in for Pemberton.
And Gerard Coleman is in. I'll tell you, that's a nice hand for Sonny Roberts, because you don't realize how big of 2 points that was from Roberts, and you may not until the game's over.
Speaking of guys coming back in, the Saluki horse, Jerry Jones, is going to come back in. I don't think you'll see him go to the bench. Look what he's done in the second half. He has been a one-man wrecking crew.
Amaya shooting into a tough-looking crowd. Doesn't get it. They're going to have to convert these 1-and-1s down the stretch. 67-62, Southern down by 5. Redbirds can turn it up here if they can score on this possession.
Again, look at the 1-3-1 zone. Salukis are in. Sterling Mayhem again at 6'1". He's running the baseline.
Thomas outside. Ricky Jackson for 3. Rebound, Flores. Mayhem fouled him. That's his 3rd.
But that's only the 6th team foul on Southern Illinois. So the next one will put Bob Bender's Redbirds in the 1-and-1. See the shot going up. Shipley challenges it. See the battle underneath the boards, and Mayhem will reach in as he holds up Flores from getting off an easy shot.
Redbirds get a new shot clock. 5.5 to go in the game. Redbirds trying to pull off the upset, even though this is their home court. They're the number 2 seed. Southern won the regular season crown. Coleman. Kick out Jackson. Off a couple of players on the baseline. Ricky Jackson. His 11th point.
Big basket. Very important for Southern Illinois not to allow the Redbirds to extend that lead out. They've done a great job of getting back in the second half.
As McSwain went in, I believe Flores got a piece of him before the shot, but it's a bonus situation again. And
again, Freddie McSwain, just too explosive for Flores, never does establish his position. And picking up the foul, and McSwain will go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
If you're Southern, that's the man you want at the line.
For an outstanding job Rich Heron has done, again, reviving basketball interest in the Salukis and in Southern Illinois.
You can tell he's hurting. He walks with a limp. He's going to have hip replacement surgery to his right side. He'll normally stomp the sidelines, whereas Bender jumps, but Heron's going to stomp with that left foot instead of the right.
Well, both of them are as active as any coaches you want to see on the sideline. Really do a good job of staying in the game.
Did you see how McSwain quieted that crowd? He was looking into a sea of red for a while, a noisy sea of red. As soon as he sank that free throw, it stopped, but it's going to start again. 69-63. McSwain trying to rally his team, pulls them within 5.
Full court pressure now by the Salukis. 1-2, 1-1, full court pressure.
Fowler just got that to Thomas. Ricky Jackson. Now Flores to Jackson. Jackson's been the hot player of late.
Salukis continue to stay in that 1-3-1 zone. Going to try to force the Redbirds to do it from the perimeter.
On the lob, it's deflected. Shipley got it. Mayhem. That could be a big turnover. Let's see. It will only be big if Southern can capitalize. Shipley brings it out. McSwain almost lost it. Forced it up. No good. Rebound for Amaya. Doing his Jerry Jones impression.
Offensive rebounding is what has kept Southern Illinois in contention all year long, and they continue to draw on that.
Jackson will put up the three. He got it.
You look at Bob Bender in his first year looking to go to the NCAA tournament.
Is this a Cinderella story for Bob Bender? It could be. Here comes the freshman Thomas. Missed. And it's pulled down by McSwain. Salukis on the run.
Big defensive play that time by Shipley.
Mayhem put up a three and he got it. That is a big three for Mayhem.
As a fan, you couldn't ask for a more exciting and a better played championship game. These two teams are really getting this record crowd here at Redbird Arena their money's worth.
Look who's back, Jackson. 17 points. Mayhem coming back in the dish. And let's see, I think Jackson was out of play. I don't think they're calling a foul. Rich Heron is seeing one whale of a game. As he sends Matt Nguyen in, you can expect that three-point shot to go up. 3:15 to go in the game. Illinois State with the lead.
Back now to the Redbirds trying to hang on against Southern Illinois.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Missouri Valley Championship. There's Billy King, and where did he get that necktie? The Illinois State assistant coach. I kidded him about that before the game. I told him our producer would not let me wear that tie on the air tonight.
What a great defensive player he was in his collegiate days at Duke, and you know that the experience he had has got to have been given to some of his players now.
King used to be a broadcaster for ESPN last year, but he came back into coaching.
Big basket that time for Southern Illinois. They come out of the timeout and immediately get 2 points.
Randy Blair, who's back in. Remember, he has 4 fouls. Driving in, he missed. Coming back is Amaya to Shipley. 2:50 to play. 75-71 Southern. Down by 4. Mayhem had it stripped. The freshman Thomas. To Coleman. The pull-up. He got it. Gerard Coleman.
Big basket that time by Coleman. 6-point Redbird lead. Still plenty of time for the Salukis. This game has had it all.
Mayhem didn't get the three. Shipley. And there's Coleman. The touchdown pass for Thomas against Nguyen. No good, but Nguyen fouled.
Let's see if Matt Nguyen gets back in time. Looked like pretty good defensive position that time.
On that angle, it did. And that's what Rich Heron was arguing about. But how about this freshman? He doesn't get the basket, Coleman does, but he's the one that stripped Sterling Mayhem down near the baseline.
The biggest compliment you can pay a freshman, JP, is that he doesn't play like a freshman, and that's exactly what Richard Thomas does. He plays like an experienced veteran.
21 straight games in which he's had at least 1 steal. But between he, Jackson, and Blair. All three of them have better than 40 steals on the year, and Thomas hits one. And Illinois State wants the timeout. Bob Bender wants to make sure his team knows what to do. A 7-point lead with 2:21 remaining. Down to 2:21 remaining in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. And the Illinois State Redbirds trying to pull off the upset. Late night with Bender. I like that jacket. The fans here are in love with Bob Bender. He could run for office tomorrow. It would be a landslide, and that's whether or not he wins or loses this game. He came into a program that had been winning in 19 of the last 20 years as we look at our storyline.
Ricky Jackson has been big, particularly in the second half. You see Amaya with 5 offensive rebounds. And the Salukis doing a good job from three-point range.
Salukis have got it close. They were down by 3. They had tied it even. At one point, they had trailed by 13. Rick Shipley will inbound it. And they tried to bring Tyrone Bell in, and they couldn't do it. There's Rich Heron pleading his case. Ironically, Heron was turned down for the job with Southern the first time he applied for it. He's really upset. He had no college experience. That's why he was turned down. They subsequently changed the rules, and the second time around he got it. One of the other candidates that finished up there was Tony Baroni, and what a job Baroni has done with Creighton. So both schools lucked out and ended up with great coaches, and the programs were turned around.
He certainly did. Both those two men have done an outstanding job here in the Missouri Valley.
On the opposite side, Bob Bender has been here before as a player and as an assistant coach. So is Billy King, and they're looking to go as coaches. Here's Jerry Jones, who's trying to deny them. And a timeout is going to be called quickly by Rich Heron. So it's down to 5 points. This is an awful lot of time left. So if you've stayed with us this long, now is not the time to turn to another channel. We've got 2:07 to play, and that's a long time in college basketball.
You see some other scores from NCAA games. Championship week here on ESPN. And let's listen to Bob Bender in the huddle.
Randy's got it out. Security basketball. Listen up. Randy's got it out. Bring Bob. JC and Scott. JC with Ricky. Ricky's coming off. Scott is Richard. Richard's coming up. Scott, you're coming back to meet the ball. Catch it and fade. Going with the basketball. 4-coach passing. You got 2 timeouts left. All right, you got it out of bounds. You can run the baseline. Let's go now. Keep going.
Coming up next, here on ESPN is Sports Center, where you can get all the latest on the Major League Baseball negotiations, more on Hank Gathers, and what's going on tonight in the NBA. Next on Sports Center. And of course, what's going on today in college basketball. A great week, one that everyone has been looking forward to. March Madness is here, and it's here in Normal, Illinois.
Full court man-to-man pressure now by the Salukis.
Blair couldn't get rid of it, wanted a timeout. He does not want the 5-second count to go against them there and lose the ball.
Well, if you're Southern Illinois with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in this game, you're only down by 5. That could be 2 possessions with a 3-point shot. So plenty of time for Southern Illinois to get back in this game. They've got to do it with defense. They've also got to get some high percentage shots.
There are your timeouts. Southern Illinois with a couple left. Illinois State has 1. Illinois State has the possession arrow in their favor. Both teams are in the bonus situation, and more people are watching this game than have ever seen the Valley Championship game. And this is the best attendance here at Redbird Arena. This is only 14 months old, this building, and it's a beautiful building. And every seat in the house has been taken by a basketball-loving fan.
Excellent setting for college basketball.
I didn't know that's what ESPN stood for. Oh, they were fired up. This is a great showcase. I said this before for the Valley. They're hoping to get as many as a couple of teams in. Of course, it depends here. If Illinois State wins, maybe Southern goes as well. If Southern wins, maybe Creighton can get in there. But they should still be well represented in both the NCAA and the NIT combined. This doesn't hurt anybody tonight.
Very good basketball in the Missouri Valley. Excellent coaches conference.
Illinois State by 5, and they have the ball. One timeout left, remember, for the Redbirds. Jackson now to Blair. Randy Blair with that senior leadership, but he lost it. I spoke too soon. Here's McSwain. Shipley, that three, he got it. Rick Shipley buried a three. Rick Shipley has buried a three-pointer, and Rich Heron wants a timeout. Southern is within 2 with less than 2 to go. 78-76, Illinois State, but by just a couple. That three that Rick Shipley buried was a big one. We told you all game long he could hit it, but that's the first one he hit from 3.
Well, Shipley is the second leading three-point scorer on this basketball team. Even though he's 6'8", he showed you his range.
He shoots it at 37% this year. Thomas penetrating the baseline, blocked by Shipley. Rebound, who wants it? Thomas. What a collision that is. Bell and Jackson.
Well, in Tyrone Bell's defense, he never knew that Jackson was there. Gave an all-out hustle. Again, a good-looking first-year Illinois State coach, Bob Bender, and Rich Heron. Both these guys have done an outstanding job with their program.
I know we're not going to have time to do this at the end of the game, so a special thank you to the athletic director here at Illinois State, Ron Wellman, his assistant AD, Mike Hamrick, and Sports Information Director Tom LaMonica for an outstanding job during this whole tournament. Thank all of the SIDs in the Valley who have helped us all year. We've had a great crew this whole weekend, giving you some great second angle shots as Jackson scores his 18-point. The future Mrs. Bob Bender, Alice Hunter.
This is something she's going to have to get used to.
Jackson at the line. This is something he's gotten used to, the pressure. 18 Jackson points. He missed. Shipley almost lost it. 3-point lead with 1:23 to go. This one could go right down to the wire. Someone told me before the game it would go down to a last-second shot. They may be prophetic. Here's McSwain in trouble. Shipley wants another three. No good. Off a tip. McSwain got it. Coming up next is Sports Center, so stick around for that as Mayhem missed. Shipley the board, slapped away. Big defense, I believe it was Fowler.
Really a little too early for the Salukis to start randomly putting up the three-point shot.
Shipley again. He missed. Well, he wasn't listening to you, I agree.
JP, it's too early to start putting up the three-point shot. You see Rich Heron's wife.
She knows.
Something over the course of that man's career that saw 616 high school wins. That win is in there to put three-point shots up, but you're only down 3 points. Still plenty of time with 45 seconds to go to get a good percentage shot. You don't have to force up that three-point shot if it's not there.
Shipley may have really got caught up in the emotion of it all after he got his last one. Shipley forcing it down low. Jones is blocked, but there's a foul on Fowler with 39 seconds to go. Fowler's third.
Now watch how strong Jones is. This is not an easy pass to catch. Just a little bit over Fowler's reach. Takes it down strong. You see Fowler got him a little bit with the body on the backside. Got all leather that time with a block. But Jones so strong in there. He can take a marginal pass and make it into a nice play.
Free throw shooting, remember. Jones' Achilles heel. Points for Jerry Jones. A reminder that coming up next, right after this game, is Sports Center. Find out more about what's going on with baseball, the Hank Gathers Memorial Service, and some outstanding highlights from around the NBA. Get all the latest results on college basketball as well. Jerry Jones sinks 2 free throws. Here's a guy that shoots free throws at 60%. Coleman, nice job.
Blair, if Blair gets it, he's the man you want to foul. It'll be Jackson. He's a 76% free throw shooter. It'll be 1-1.
Foul is going to be called on Sterling Mayhem, and that's going to be his 4th personal foul. Jackson's not the guy you want there. Like you're saying, Bob Bender knows that Jackson's a 76% shooter from the line during the course of the season.
Well, not only that, Ricky Jackson's a senior. He's been there before. Matt Nguyen again checking in for some perimeter scoring punch. Again, he had 14 points in the first half and kept Southern Illinois in this game.
He was 4 for 4 from 3 when he first came in. Jackson got it. What a courageous young man. We don't like to keep beating the story to death, but his mother passed away after a long bout with cancer on Sunday. Didn't let his teammates know till after the game it was his choice. He comes out tonight after a slow start. 4 points in the first half. He now has 20. 81-78. 29 seconds left. Matt Nguyen with it. Here's Shipley. Knocked away. It stays in. Fowler's got it. 15 left. Blair smartly plays it out to Jackson. Lost it. McSwain. 7 seconds. He knows they need a 3. They have to get a 3. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Cinderella's going to the dance. They're going crazy here in Normal, Illinois. There's your final score. Cinderella is going to the dance. Illinois State has pulled off the upset. Congratulations to Bob Bender. Let's go back to Chris Fowler.
Thanks, fellas. What a finish there. So the baby boomer coach, Bob Bender, at age 32, has his team in the NCAA tournament in his first year. SIU, if you're thinking at large, well, they had a nice record at 26-7, but they didn't play anybody in the top 25. Sports are coming up in just a couple of seconds. And a reminder, a doubleheader tomorrow.